Every day is awesome. We just have to get through it. Hey guys, welcome back to Human Velocity X. Our name still isn't important. The message always is. Before we begin, take a slow breath right where you're sitting. Feel that space around your breath, that subtle atmosphere, that's your resonance field. And today we're talking about why some people drain you instantly, why some recharge you fully, and why your body has always known the truth before your mind put language to it. Segment 1, a moment. There was a moment, nothing dramatic. Someone walked into the room before I processed anything. My whole body reacted. My shoulders rose, my breath shortened. Everything in me whispered, I don't have the energy for this person. Nothing had happened. No conflict, no words, just presence, that's resonance. My field recognized theirs before logic even woke up. You've lived this moment too. Segment 2. What a resonance field is. A resonance field isn't mystical. You don't have to believe in it. You don't have to imagine energy beams or invisible forces. It's simpler than that. A resonance field is this, the emotional frequency your body broadcasts and absorbs. Even when you're silent, it's posture, breath, micro-expressions, tension patterns, nervous system rhythm. Before you speak, your body has already introduced you before someone answers. Their body has already responded. You carry a tone, not a personality, not a label, a tone, calm, guarded, open, graced, rested, agitated. Everyone carries a tone. And when two people enter the same space, those tones interact. Sometimes they harmonize, breath sinks, shoulders soften, conversation flows without effort. You don't have to try. It feels easy. Sometimes a conflict, a subtle friction, an unspoken misalignment, a slight edge beneath neutral words. No one has done anything wrong, but something doesn't quite align. That moment of harmony or friction is resonance, not magic. Physics at the human level. Two systems touching, adjusting, responding, and whether people are aware of it or not, it's happening constantly. You feel it because you pay attention, not because you're dramatic, because you're tuned. Resonance isn't something you imagine, it's something you register. And once you recognize that, you stop doubting the shifting of room, you start trusting what your body already knows. Segment 3, childhood recognition. You knew this as a child, long before you had language for it. You could feel who was safe before you knew what safety meant. Not because someone explained it to you, because your body relaxed, because your breathing changed, because your shoulders dropped without you thinking about it. You could also feel who wasn't right. Not evil, not dramatic, just off. A tone that didn't match, a smile that didn't settle, a presence that made you smaller without knowing why. And here's the part that matters. You felt that before you had permission to trust that feeling. Before anyone stood, listen to your instincts. Before you were taught to override yourself to be polite, your resonance field developed early. Before logic, before strategy, before adulthood complicated it. You were reading rooms before you could explain what the room was. You were sensing shift before you knew the word atmosphere. Children don't analyze tone. They absorb it. They don't debate safety. They register it. And somewhere along the way, many people learn to ignore that signal, to second guess it, to smooth it out, to explain it away. But if you're honest, it never fully left you. It just got quieter. Under noise, under the expectation, under pressure to fit. that the instrument was always there. You didn't learn the sensitivity, you arrived with it. And when you reconnect with that early recognition, it doesn't make you fragile. It makes you aligned again. Segment 4. Why some drain you? Some people drain you, not because they're bad, not because they're malicious, not because they're trying to take something from you, but because their internal frequency pulls against yours. You felt it. You walk away from a conversation and your body is tired, even though nothing dramatic happened. No argument, no confrontation, just friction. Your body registers the cost before your mind rationalizes anything. Before you start explaining it away, before you say, they didn't mean anything by it. Maybe I'm just overthinking. The body already knows that cost shows up as heaviness, tight shoulders, irritability that doesn't make sense, shallow breathing, a low-grade fatigue that feels disproportionate to the moment. Nothing explosive, just depletion. Two opposing fields create friction. One pushing, one bracing, one performing, one staying grounded. Even subtle misalignment requires energy to manage, and energy spent managing becomes exhaustion. This isn't about judging anyone. It's about recognizing physics when frequencies harmonize. Energy flows when they conflict. Energy is spent compensating. You don't get drained because you're weak. You get drained because your system is working overtime to maintain alignment in the presence of misalignment. And once you recognize that, you stop blaming yourself for being tired. You start understanding what your body has been telling you all along. Segment 5. The recharged people. Then there are the opposite moments. The people whose presence brings your whole system back online. No effort, no performance, no adjusting. You walk into the room and something settles, your breathing eases, your shoulders drop, your jaw unclenches without you noticing. Your mind unclutters. Not because they solved anything, because nothing needs managing. You're not bracing, you're not translating, you're not compensating, you're simply aligned. They don't perform, they don't try to impress you, they don't force connection. They exist in a frequency that matches yours. Conversation flows without pressure. Silence feels natural. You don't leave depleted, you leave clearer. It's harmony, not intensity, not excitement. Stating is the emotional equivalent of exhaling. And two systems are torn similarly. Energy doesn't get spent, it circulates. You don't have to shrink, you don't have to expand, you don't have to defend. You just remain yourself. And your body recognizes that safety faster than your mind can describe it. Recharge doesn't come from noise, it comes from resonance. And when you find those people, you don't question it. You feel it. Like oxygen returning to where it belongs. Segment 6. The neutral ones. And then there's neutral. Not everyone pulls on you, not everyone restores you. Some people don't drain you, they don't recharge you. They simply exist beside you. No friction, no harmony swell, just coexistence. And neutral is underrated because neutral teaches something important. Not every interaction needs to mean something. Not every presence needs to shift you. Not every person needs to match your tone or impose it. Some people are simply background. Not in a dismissive way, in a stable way, like furniture in a room, like trees on a sidewalk, like the steady hum of normal. Neutral reminds you that your system doesn't have to react to everything. It doesn't have to calibrate. It doesn't have to brace. It doesn't have to soften. It can just remain and remaining without friction. without expansion, without contraction. That's balance. Neutral teaches this. Not everyone needs to be energy. Some people can simply be space. On space, when it's clean, isn't empty. It's stable. Instability is its own kind of peace. Just breathe. You've met people who could drain your entire soul just by saying, "Hey, can I ask you something?" Your field doesn't lie. Segment 7, compassion layer. Draining people aren't always wrong. They're not villains in your story. Sometimes they're carrying storms they don't even feel. Pressure that's been normal for so long, it no longer registers as tension. Sometimes they're in survival mode, reacting, bracing, managing threats that may not even be present anymore. When someone lives in that state, their frequency tightens, their words sharpen, their breathing shortens, their presence pushes. Not because they want to drain you, because they're regulating something they don't understand yet. You're not judging them. You're not diagnosing them. You're tuned into weather systems they ignore. You feel the pressure change even if they don't. That awareness doesn't make you superior. It makes you sensitive to signal. And signal isn't accusation, it's information. You can recognize friction without assigning blame. You can feel misalignment without creating a villain. This is awareness, not offense. You don't have to harden. You don't have to withdraw in anger. You simply acknowledge the shift. Some people are storms in motion. Some are just passing through turbulence, and you can feel both without turning either into a story about good or bad. Clarity doesn't require condemnation. It requires steadiness. And that steadiness is what keeps your awareness clean. A moment. There was a time someone entered the room when the air twisted sideways. No argument, no drama, but my chest tightened. Minutes later, the emotional tone dropped exactly how my body predicted. See, your intuition isn't random, it's a resonance field. Speaking early, reflection. But when your life drains your energy, even when nothing bad is happening, your body has been telling you for years. Segment 8. The simple signs. Let's ground this. Your resonance field isn't abstract, it's shaped by your nervous system. Your emotional history, your values, your pace, your trauma healing, your honesty, your empathy. All of that lives in the body. How quickly you activate, how quickly you settle, how safe you feel in connection, how much performance you tolerate, how much truth you require. That becomes your baseline frequency. It's not personality, it's regulation. If someone's field doesn't match yours, your nervous system compensates. If they're tense, you brace. If they're chaotic, you stabilize. If they're guarded, you soften or harden. Even subtle differences require adjustment. And adjustment costs energy. You don't feel tired because you're fragile. You feel tired because your system has been recalibrating in real time. Breath shifts, muscles engage, attention heightens. The compensation isn't dramatic, it's biological. And biology isn't more, it's mechanical. Two systems out of sync require work to stay aligned. Work equals energy. Energy spent repeatedly becomes fatigue. The simple science is this. When resonance matches, energy flows. When it conflicts, energy compensates. And when you understand that, you stop judging your exhaustion. You start respecting your calibration. Because your body has been telling the truth long before your mind put words to it. Segment 9. The people you can't stay around. There are people you don't dislike, you just don't align with. You can respect them. You can appreciate them. You can even enjoy brief moments with them. But something in your body knows it can't stay long. It's not judgment. It's calibration. Even kindness can feel heavy when frequencies contradict. Someone can be generous and still feel draining. Someone can be polite and still require effort to remain around, not because they're wrong, because the internal pace is different. The honesty level is different. The nervous systems move at different speeds. One pushes, one slows, one performs, one observes. Resonance isn't personality, it's vibration. It's rhythm. It's how two internal systems adjust when they touch. And when the rhythms don't match, someone compensates. If that someone is always you, you will feel it. You'll leave tired, not angry, not hurt, just depleted. And that doesn't mean you lack compassion. It means you recognize sustainability. You can wish someone well without sharing your atmosphere. You can care without aligning. You can respect without remaining. Because resonance isn't about liking. It's about energy exchange, and knowing where you can stay without shrinking isn't selfish. It's honest, and honesty is the most stable frequency you have. If you need space, if you tire easily in certain rooms, if you sense misalignment early, you're not difficult. You're attuned. This isn't fragility. It's design. Picture your internal field as a calm pool of water. Some people enter and the water stays still. Some create gentle ripples and some create waves. Your field feels the shift before your mind names it. That's awareness. Segment 10, permission. You are allowed to honor your energy, not defensively, not dramatically, just honestly. You are allowed to step back without guilt. Not because someone did something wrong, but because your system has already told you what it can sustain. You are allowed to trust your intuition without proof, not courtroom evidence, not a spreadsheet of reasons. Your body registering a shift is reason enough. You are allowed to avoid friction without calling it conflict. Not every misalignment needs a confrontation. Not every tension needs a speech. Sometimes the most mature move is quiet distance, because protecting your clarity isn't aggression, it's calibration. Your resonance field isn't dramatic. It's not reactive. It's not hypersensitive. It's accurate. Accurate to pace, accurate to tone, accurate to what costs you and what restores you. You don't have to justify accuracy. You don't have to apologize for alignment. You simply listen, adjust, remain steady. And when you do that, you're not withdrawing from the world, you're moving through it without losing yourself. That's not avoidance. That's awareness with boundaries, and boundaries, when clean, don't push people away. They keep you intact, grounding. Take a breath, in, out. Say quietly, my energy tells the truth. I'm allowed to listen. My resonance is my compass. If you've always needed space before anyone understood why, if you sensed tension before anyone admitted it, there was never anything wrong with you. You weren't too much. Maybe you were feeling first. That's the reason not in you. The realization. Your energy is not random, it's responsive. Your body knows alignment before your mind explains it. You're not fragile. You're finely tuned. Thanks for being here. You're a reason not. And your resonance is your awareness. Next time, if some people dream you, some people feel like home. That's episode 8, dedicated to those who learned early that not every room is safe, and trusted their energy anyway. Every day is awesome. We just have to get through it. Before we go, take a moment to notice something. Over these past conversations, we've talked about awareness, pride, thinking, emotional weather, silence, and the resonance fields we carry. Not as lessons, just as recognition. Because the truth is, you didn't learn these things here, you remember them. That's what a reason art does. You don't invent awareness, we uncover it. So if you've been listening to these episodes and something in you feels clear, something quieter, something more steady, that's not the podcast. That's you. Frequency 1 was about awakening the signal. Frequency 2 is about navigating the world once you realize you can hear it. Thanks for being.